How's it going, Rangers and overall hockey fans? Thank you guys so much for chiming in for the latest live show of Rangers Review. This is episode 66, the start of the new season for the team in New York, that being in the Rangers, not the Islanders, folks. I'm sorry to break any hearts here. We got any Islanders fans chiming in on YouTube or, of course, listening to the podcast somehow. But Steven and I, we have a lot to deep dive over the first week of games for the New York Rangers. Games 1 through 4 to be exact. We'll be giving you guys quick recaps on those games, just, the big highlights. What were the goals? How the Rangers fare? And then from there, we're going to be sharing a lot of deep dive analysis on the Rangers' overall performance, which has been nothing short of truly a hot start. We got a lot to get into. I'm really excited, Steven. What a start to the year for the New York Rangers, right?
Yeah, it's we talked about this in the weeks leading up to the season. Are the Rangers going to start the way they finished the postseason? Are the kids gonna build on their postseason performance? Is Zibanejad finally gonna have like a good start to the season, or is he gonna start slow again? What about Panarin? Is Panarin fully healthy? What can we expect from Shesterkin? And honestly, the Rangers start the season at home against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I was hoping for a win, but again, it is the Tampa Bay Lightning, so we knew it was going to be a tough one. But yeah, the Rangers come through at home opener. The player presentation and everything, which unfortunately was not televised because this game was on ESPN or TNT. I forget which one. They both suck anyway. But yeah, the Rangers, they did not score an even strength goal until midway through the third period. But man, what a game. Zibanejad shorthanded to open the scoring for the Rangers. First time ever, the Rangers' first goal of the season is a shorthanded goal.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, 3 minutes 25 into the second period, Zibanejad with a really nice move on Vasilevsky to the front hand backhand, and then he roofs it into the corner.
Yep.
And Vasilevsky was having a really good game. Let's not take anything away from that. We win 3-1, but Vasilevsky kept them in the game. Stamkos tied it up on a power play 6 minutes later, assisted by Kucherov and point.
And he already leads the league in goals with 6, so nothing to feel ashamed about there.
True. But he's the only one that's doing anything for Tampa. I mean,
yeah,
I'll get into the other 2 goals for this game, but Tampa's 1-3.
Yeah, not the hot start that they were hoping for.
Tampa is really missing McDonough and Cirelli's on IR. McDonough's in Nashville. Yep. I think the McDonough losses are hurting them more than they anticipated. But yeah, third period, Zibanejad on the power play this time, assisted by Panarin and Kreider. A laser from his usual spot. And Zibanejad becoming only the fourth or fifth in NHL history to score a shorthanded and power play goal in the first game of the season.
Yeah, pretty neat stat for Mika. It makes sense that it's him, though.
Yeah. There was one other Ranger who ever did it, and that was Adam Graves in 1996.
Nice.
And then to finish the game off, Barclay Goodrow midway through this third period, assisted by Lindgren and Carpenter. Carpenter getting his first point as a Ranger in his Rangers debut at the Garden. Goodrow getting his first goal of the season in the home opener. First time Goodrow scores in the first game of the season against his old team. And yeah, the Igor better chants were coming out.
Rangers fans holding nothing back in game 1. Love to see it.
At this point, I know some people don't like it, but at least it's something original, right?
Yeah.
I'm just tired of hearing "Let's go Rangers." This is the only chant you ever hear, and Pot fan sucks. So to hear something new, it's refreshing. But yeah, Rangers,
for the longest time it was Henrique. So now the Rangers have their own different versions of that.
Well, yeah, Igor. I mean they have an Igor chant, but when you play the Tampa Bay Lightning and the whole world is still saying that Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the world, and Shesterkin outplays him, and won the Vezina last season, was a Hart finalist, then yeah, you can bring out that chant. Rangers win the home opener 3-1 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And how nice is it to start the season with a win against a team that eliminated you from the playoffs the previous
So
season.
comfortably too. I mean,
Yeah,
there were very little parts of that entire game that I felt worried as a Rangers
yeah.
fan. You know, the
If it,
Rangers just looked more
and that,
comfortable from start to
yeah,
finish.
and that's a good point. You know, the Rangers were dominant on faceoffs. They were dominant in shots. If it wasn't for Vasilevsky, this game could have been 6-7, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1.
And
Vasilevsky kept them in the game.
And it's funny because when speaking about goaltending keeping teams in games, that would not be the case for the Minnesota Wild, as the Rangers would head to Minnesota in game 2. Rangers facing off against Matt Zuccarello. So as we know, Zook, who I still have a life-size poster on my wall right now. Love Zook, always will. You knew a guaranteed goal was going to happen from him at some point. But before we got there, the Rangers came out guns a-blazing against this Minnesota Wild team. A team that, again, has aspirations of making playoffs. They're a very solid team. Really well coached. A lot of things to like about the Minnesota Wild. So for the Rangers to come into Minnesota and do what they did in game 2 was nothing short of impressive. You see Chris Kreider with his first goal of the year. And of course, it's on the power play. Beautiful setup from Zibanejad and Panarin with the assists on that one early in the first period. Then, continuing the first period, Adam Fox nets his first goal of the year, assisted by Laffy and Panarin. And then third, Artemi Panarin himself with a beautiful goal, his first of the year, assisted by Laffy and Trocheck. Already a 3-0 lead for the New York Rangers in just the first period. You're feeling good if you're a Rangers fan in this matchup. And as we get to the second period, early on, Matt Zuccarello, of course, does exactly what we would then see happen with Mr. Frank Vetrano in that Anaheim game, both scoring simultaneously in that left dot, sniping on Igor. For this case, Zuccarello gets it on the short side of Igor. It makes it a 3-1 game, still favoring the Rangers. And not long after, as we get later on in the period, we're just around 4 minutes left. Filipino nets a goal in front for his first of the year, assisted by Adam Fox and Barclay Goodrow. As we then advance to the third period, Vinny Trocheck, who I think has been nothing short of amazing for the Rangers so far this season through the first handful of games. He nets his first of the year, a beautiful shot from the left side, and that is assisted by Panarin in the third period. Matt Boldy, the young stud for the Minnesota Wild, continuing to try to make a name for himself as one of the better players in the league, especially for Minnesota. He nets his first goal of the year, literally a minute after. And then Kakko Kaapo. I can't even speak right now. Kakko Kaapo. Kakko.
Yeah.
Lots of cock in there. Let's be honest, Steven, okay? And what does Kakko do? He does exactly what he did with Traverse City a couple years ago, and he goes all the way around the net, being an absolute puck hog, and becomes a bulldog, gets in front with a beautiful backhand forehand, a dominant finish of a goal for Kakko's first net of the year. That was unassisted. Rangers have a 6-2 lead, and that was beautiful because that was only not even 30 seconds after Wild scored thanks to Boldy there in the third. Then Matt Boldy would, again, say, okay, I'm going to keep scoring. He did exactly that. He would respond not even a minute later for his second of the game and the season, but the Rangers would net their seventh and final goal right around with 6 minutes left, thanks to Chris Kreider's second of the year, assisted by Keandre Miller and Zibanejad. We originally thought Keandre had the goal, from Minnesota, family in attendance. Unfortunately, he did not get the goal, but the Rangers still did score because Kreider got a little tip in front. Rangers would go on to win 7-3 in this matchup and just pure dominance. I mean, this was a start of really seeing this Rangers team when it came to the goal scoring be absolutely hot. And while that win transitioned into the game against Winnipeg, again, I didn't expect high scoring heading into that matchup on a back-to-back Winnipeg's first game of the year, their home opener. However, I was beyond impressed to see the Rangers come out and, again, continuing to produce at least one goal in the power play. They were 50% on faceoffs. They just looked strong this entire game against the Minnesota Wild team that you expected there to be more of a high contest. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. The Minnesota Wild last season were a tough opponent for the Rangers. I know I was there when they lost, unfortunately, but I expected a good game. But this Minnesota Wild team is not as good as they were last season. They lost Kevin Fiala. They had to make some other moves because they have $12.4 or $12.6 million in cap penalties this season.
And Fiala's a good player too.
So that they had to make moves to make it fit under the cap. And you know what? The Rangers came out strong. Fleury conceding 7 goals in a game. They didn't even pull him midway through the game. The Rangers just came out flying, and it was It was a really good game and first road game. It was their home opener. The Rangers played 3 home openers in a row, basically their
Yep.
own, the Minnesota Wild, and then the Winnipeg Jets. So to come away with such a big score in Minnesota, yeah, really good performance. And the yeah, in the third period, let me see here. Between the Vinny Trocheck goal and the second Matt Boldy goal, 4 goals in a span of 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah, that was nuts. It was just bang, 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 bang. That's literally how
Yeah,
it felt.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, the Rangers. Happy that the Rangers won 7-3 win. Really good game by Panarin as well. Panarin finishing the game with 4 points, a goal and 3 assists. Just doing everything it's expected of him. And then Lafreniere, his first game in the top 6 after the Kravtsov injury on opening night.
Oh, good. We
Two,
didn't even mention that. Great point.
yeah, 2 primary assists. First on the Adam Fox goal, and then on the Artemi Panarin goal.
The
And both,
Panarin pass was disgusting. Behind the net, it gets over the stick
yeah,
of the
yeah,
Wild
yeah,
defender too. Oh,
yeah.
that was
And
a
I got to
clean
say,
game.
the primary assist on Fox was good too because he was threading the needle.
Yes.
Like to get it to the other side of the crease. Really good game by Lafreniere. Yeah, and then goal by Kako, goal of the season so far.
Yep.
I mean, when first
It's
thing I
Kako
thought of,
Capo. Don't you know?
first thing I thought of when I saw that goal was, oh my God, Traverse City. And the Rangers, credit to them. Their social media presence isn't always great, but yeah, they did a mashup of both goals, the one in
Yeah.
Traverse City and the one in that game.
Wasn't that
And
against Minnesota too for
that
Travers?
was also against the Minnesota Wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's poetic.
So yeah, it was beautiful mashup that the Rangers posted on their Twitter account. Yeah, great 7-3 win, 2-0, and then heading to Winnipeg to play the Jets in their third game in 4 nights.
Not fun.
I'm going to say something that I don't often say after a loss, but the Rangers played a really good game. The score line does not represent the game. The Rangers created scoring chances, but Connor Hellebuck really pulled it out of the fire for them. Mark Scheifele scored in the first period, assisted by Ehlers and Morrissey. And after that, it was just the Rangers, pushing back, getting scoring chances. Unfortunately, it didn't work for the Rangers. But in the third period, there was a carryover penalty from the second period for Philip Hedl, who had a holding call with 6 seconds to go. So the Rangers started the third period on the penalty kill. And as a result, the lines were a little jumbled in the first 2 shifts after they got back to even strength. And it resulted in the line that I actually was dreading in the preseason. Dryden Hunt scoring, assisted by Trocheck and Panarin.
Speaking of Dryden Hunt, he was just placed on waivers over the
and
past
he was,
hour.
as we're recording now, about an hour, 2 hours ago, he was placed on waivers, or an hour ago. But yeah, Hunt with his first of the season, assisted by Trocheck and Panarin, was the only goal for the Rangers, unfortunately. Sam Gagner put them back in the lead with 4.5 minutes to go.
Sam Gagner's still kicking, man. He's still kicking.
Sam Gagner, the only active player to ever have 8 points in a single NHL game.
With the Edmonton Oilers. I watched that
He
game.
had 4 goals and 4 assists. Yeah, yeah. Assisted by Saku Manalainen and David Gustafsson. And then the Rangers pull their goalie. The Rangers concede a power play goal by Scheifele, which Shesterkin couldn't really do much about. And then they pull their goalie, and Kyle Connor gets the 4th for the Jets. Third game in 4 nights, the Rangers lose, but they played much better than the scoreline indicates. The Rangers could have won this game, but Connor Hellebuck really dragged it out of the fire for the Jets.
What's your quick evaluation of Yaroslav Halak in that matchup?
Oh, sorry, Halak was in that for this one. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I said Shesterkin.
It's okay. I mean, Igor's going to be starting more games than not, so it's understandable.
Halak had a good game for the Rangers. I don't think if we had Shesterkin in net for this game, we would have won it. The goals that the Jets scored, I don't think Shesterkin would have stopped those, because those were high danger scoring chances, right in front of the crease. The Scheifele power play goal was a really good cross crease pass. There were just some defensive lapses, unfortunately, which then carried over to the Ducks game. But luckily, scoring was up in that one.
It was up in that one, and hopefully next time we do our week 2 episode, Steven, you'll be able to talk about some more exciting games than those. Other than, again, the home opener was solid, but I'm just taking
Yeah.
all the goals here because the Rangers said, you know what, we're going to go out and do the exact same thing that we basically did to the Minnesota Wild. Only difference was that there was some more sloppy defensive play by the Rangers in this matchup, but they head back home. And this game, so much stood out from Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad, Vinny Trocheck. I liked how the defense looked in some parts, not in all parts, but in some. I'm happy to see guys like Zach Jones, Braden Schneider gain a good amount of playing time. That always makes me happy as a guy that's going to be pulling for Jones a lot this year and hoping that he stays in the lineup. But let's talk about this game because the Rangers power play, my goodness gracious, it was over before it even began. It felt like you see their beautiful passing early on. Rangers have a power play, and they get Vinny Trocheck in front for his second goal of the year. This was shortly after Ryan Strome gets his tribute by the Rangers. Of course, Ryan Strome's time with the New York Rangers was strong. I think more impressive than what we initially expected from that Ryan Spooner trade all those years ago. The only gripe with Ryan Strome that we all know, and we're not going to beat it to death here, is hitting empty nets, something he cannot do. So it was quite poetic to see Trocheck without even any hesitation burying
Was
that
it
goal on the
was it
power play.
Trocheck who scored though, or was it
Oh, I'm
Furcano?
sorry. Wait. Oh, you're throwing me off now. Was it Vetrano or was it Trocheck? It's fun. It's funny how Sam, Sam always messes up players' names every game, and that's why we love him in part. But it was funny how he mentioned Vetrano, and Vetrano would go on to score in this matchup too. So
Yeah,
it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, if you will. But
yeah, yeah.
Trocheck gets his second of the year, assisted by Zibanejad and Panarin. And then, speaking on the power play, Mika Zibanejad does what Mika Zibanejad does, gets himself a power play goal in that same period in the first, assisted by Trocheck and Panarin. Then Frankie V, again, the guy in the left dot, just like Zibanejad, not short side, but glove side this time, in and out quick, snipes his second goal of the year, first against his former team in the Rangers. It's a 2-1 hockey game as we get into the second period. In the second, Trevor Zegras early on gets his second of the year. And just like that, this game's tied up. Not even 2 minutes into the second period. And us Ranger fans a little frustrated after that early 2-0 lead. And it gets blown. And that's why they always say, that is exactly why they always say, you have to be careful with 2-goal leads. They're arguably the worst goal leads you can have in all the NHL for reasons just like this.
Last season, the Rangers were terrible with 2-goal leads.
Exactly. Thankfully, they hung on in this one. And Capo Caco getting his second goal of the year not long after, assisted by Zibanejad and Fox, makes it a 3-2 Rangers lead. Nice goal in front there by Caco. Then Alexis Lafreniere with a nice goal. Beautiful setup by Hedel and Trouba. That would be his first of the year. Taps it in from the left side. And that makes it a 4-2 game favoring the New York Rangers. And then Artemi Panarin, beautiful right down the center of the ice, enter the offensive zone, just rips it right past the Anaheim Ducks, that beating John Gibson, and it is a 5-2 Rangers lead. Rangers just poured on with 3 consecutive goals in the second period. That was assisted by Fox and Lindgren. And as we get to the third, Maxime Comtois, who looks exactly like Ricardo Raquel now. I don't know if you've noticed this. He has the tinted visor. He's got the flow, the dirty blonde / brown going on, a little mustache. I thought that you would think that's Raquel if it wasn't for his handedness being left versus Raquel being right. It's kind of funny how he's looking right now, in my opinion. No less, he gets his first of the year, assisted by Shattenkirk and Troy Terry. And then Mika Zibanejad with the beautiful snipe, the pan pending snipe from the left side. Beautiful one-timer. That is going to be his fourth of the year. Power play goal, Panarin and Fox with the assist. And then Derek Grand gets a goal that wasn't great defense in front of the net there by the Rangers. He's able to tap that one in for his first of the year. Rangers go on to win 6-4 in this hockey game. And what stood out the most to me was, again, deadly power play for the New York Rangers. They did not skip a beat. They went 3 for 4. They also won in the faceoff dot again, 52-48. Dominated this game from an offensive standpoint, 43 shots to 22. Were big with the hits, 27-17. Everything was favoring the Rangers, but again, they did have some defensive miscues after gaining that early lead. And that's something that they are certainly going to need to clean up in the games going forward. But Artemi Panarin, Steven, Artemi Panarin with his second 4-point game already for the Rangers this year, already leads the entire NHL with 10 points on the season. Mika Zibanejad right behind him with 8. So for for everything that you've seen with the Rangers so far this year from an offensive standpoint, how impressed are you with how they're performing? Or is this exactly what you expected from this team? Let me hear it.
Well, let's start by saying that Artemi Panarin is the first Ranger ever to have 10 points in the first 4 games of the season. The franchise record coming into the last game was 9 in 4 games. And
who was that held by?
A couple of players. Oh, shit. You know, I tweeted this. Let me.
Stat Boy doesn't have the stats.
I know. I was tweeting a lot during that game because a lot of stuff happened that game. One sec.
And while Steven's looking up the stats quick, again, shout out to everyone here that's watching the show live on YouTube. If you're listening wherever you get your podcast, thank you so much. Make sure to rate, review, listen to all that great stuff. Drop us a comment on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you all so much again in advance. We appreciate you.
I want to make sure I get the years as well. So Rod Gilbert in 76, Phil Esposito in 77, Pierre LaRouche in 86, and Darren Turcotte in 1990 had 9 points in the team's first 4 games. So yeah, Panarin did something great. 10 points. Zibanejad has 2 points per game. He has 8 points after 4 games, and he's not even leading his team in points. That's the crazy part. But yeah, no, great game by Panarin. Like you said, second 4-point game, and we're only 4 games into the season. I was hoping Panarin would come back strong. I know he was injured in the playoffs. He had a lower back injury in the final games of the regular season, and I don't think he really recovered from that before the playoffs started.
Yep.
But this is the Panarin that we want to see, and
he looks better than what he did to start last year.
Yeah. And it's not just the points; it's also the way he's playing. You know, the confidence. Players are bouncing off him. He's just playing really good hockey right now. And same for Zibanejad. That second power play goal, man, the puck. I thought it went off the blocker. I thought it was a save because the sound it made was so loud, but it went off the padding on the inside of the goal, and the shot was so hard that the puck bounced out of the goal all the way to the neutral zone.
Yes, Sam didn't even know it was a goal at first. He thought maybe it hit a post and bounced out. He was like, "What?" he needed a minute.
It went so far out of the net, like so far away from the net. You think it was either a blocker save or a pad save or something. But yeah, that goal by Zibanejad, man, he's on fire early on in the season. But what really stands out to me, Kakko, Hito, and Lafreniere are all contributing, and it's exactly what we needed from this team. You know, we need all of these guys to contribute. And with Hunt being on waivers today, that probably means Kravtsov's back in the lineup.
Yeah, a great chance. You know, we're going to bounce back and forth with talking about a lot of different Ranger topics in this episode, but I did want to mention what was reported by a great Rangers beat writer, of course, Vince Mercogliano. That line rushes today were the following: Kreider, Zibanejad, Kakko, Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere, Blais, Hedel, Gaudreau, and then VC, Carpenter, and Reeves. So, and he said that's what I'm guessing we'll see tomorrow at the time of recording this against the David Quinn ran San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, no former Rangers to score on us in that game.
Yep.
So that's at least one positive. But yeah, we'll see if it's Carpenter or Kravtsov who's coming back into the lineup. One of those two at least. But yeah, this team, they're just playing really well, and it took injuries to Sammy Blais and Vitaly Kravtsov, but we finally have Kakko and Lafreniere in the top 6.
And they're actually performing. That's the big thing. You know, they've already mixed around from being on the kid line to being in the top 6 through the first 4, and they look comfortable wherever they are. That's something that we did not see nearly to the same degree to begin last season, and for the parts where they were healthy. So that's huge. You know, the question now for the Rangers is the offense is red hot. This offense is easily looking like one of the best in the AHL. Hopefully that'll stay true throughout the year. But when looking at the bottom 6, a guy like Sammy Blais, what has been your take on him from his short games of performance thus far? And then from there, how do you see the Rangers going about the future of that third line, especially with the assumption that Vitaly makes a return sooner than later?
I'm happy Sammy Blais got through a game without injury. Because he is not the type of player that plays a full season, unfortunately, in his career. Hopefully he can play the way he has, because when he's on the fourth line, he's a very valuable player to this team.
Yes, he is. And this is a hilarious comment in the live show.
Oh, dude, if that happens, Phil Di Giuseppe is also on waivers today, so there's two possibilities.
Oh, I liked Phil when he was a Ranger. He was a good little player for us. But yeah, the funny comment here from Ryan is that if the Sharks claim Hunt, put him in the lineup against the Rangers and he scores, clip that. I mean, yeah, for sure. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I would
That would be
say,
something.
yeah, it would. And now pivoting from offense to defense for a minute, we've seen some miscues both from the back checking the Rangers and on the defense overall. When you look at that pair with Zach Jones and Braden Schneider, especially, what has your take been on their production so far this season?
I think Jones has been better than Schneider. Um, I think Gallant saw it too. Their game against the Ducks, Truba went to the locker room for concussion protocol because he got hit in the head with a shot from, who was it? Troy Terry, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he went into the locker room, and while he was in the locker room, the Rangers had to go with five defensemen. But at the end of the game, I looked at the time on ice. Zach Jones played 3 more minutes of even strength hockey than Braden Schneider. So
that's
um,
notable.
that's very notable. I never understood why Jones sat for the Jets game. Hayek played that game. Um, Made no sense to me. You should always go with your best play, with your best team. And I don't care if you are the biggest Libor Hayek fan in the world. Hayek is not a better player than Zach Jones.
Yeah, I would say the only thing that could give benefit of the doubt there is that Jones hasn't had much of a handful of work at the NHL level at this point. So I could understand to a very certain degree as to why Gallant made that decision just to
Dude,
keep him
it's game,
fresh.
it's game, it's game three of the season, man.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying to a very lesser extent, I can understand it.
Yeah.
But,
If he was 18 or 19 years old, his contract could still slide at this point of the season.
yeah,
We're talking about 3 games in, the third game of the season, and he's already putting Hayek in. But if you want to give Hayek game time, then send him to the AHL on a conditioning stint like they did last season.
true. Yeah, no,
Doesn't have
that's
to go
again.
through waivers.
Yeah,
He gets
this
paid to
isn't
skate.
about this isn't about an argument or a debate or anything. I think I understood it a little bit at first, but
No, I don't
thankfully
get it.
for
I don't get it.
that's
If
fine.
you wanted to get playing time, you do it in the AHL. You don't sacrifice your team in the NHL just to give your seven defensemen some minutes. It
Yep.
made no sense to me at all. But yeah, I'm happy with the Jones Schneider pairing. I think they're doing really well. I think in the Ducks game, the pairing that worried me was the Lindgren Fox pairing on defense.
Yeah, for sure.
So they need to tidy up a little bit. Luckily, the Rangers outscored the Ducks. It was 6-4. But if they have another game like that, it might result in a loss. Back-to-back games conceding 4 goals, not a good look. But the Rangers offensively, they make up for it. Yeah, defense. I think the defense is fine. They just need to shore up a little bit. In certain areas. But that third pair is not a problem at all.
Yeah, I've really liked what I've seen from Jones so far. It's great to see him get the kind of leash that he has for the most part through the 3 games out of the 4 that he has started. So offensively for the Rangers, smoking hot right now. Phenomenal start for them. Defense can use some work, but again, very early in the year. Thankfully, it hasn't hurt them too bad to the point where say they're below 500 through the first 4 games. Goaltending as well. I think Igor has looked as advertised. Maybe his stats won't necessarily say that, but I expect, as always, another dominant year from Igor Shesterkin. And I didn't have any issues with Halak, too, to your point. When you look at the goals that he gave up, you can make rightful arguments that it wouldn't have been much different in this scenario were, say, Igor started in that game. At least
Mm,
nothing of a drastic extent. But before
yeah.
we advance forward here in the show,
So
I
quick.
want to give a quick shout out to Dave
uh,
for the $2 donation. Thank you so much for that, Dave. Great friend of mine. Really appreciate you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But going back to you.
Yeah, so quickly on Shestyorkin, I saw this pop up today. I cannot remember who tweeted it, but Shestyorkin's save percentage in close games, so when the score is tied or a 1 goal difference, 0.966.
Yeah.
So when the game's on the line, he's delivering. It's just that That game against the Ducks was just defensive lapses. And when you're up 5-2 or 5-3, then yeah, the defensive lapses happen. But no, I'm not worried about Shesterkin at all. But yeah, really happy with the team so far after 4 games. I'm looking forward to the next 4. We play, I think, the Sharks, the Blue Jackets, the Avalanche as our next 3, and then on the road against the Coyotes and the Stars.
Yeah, the
Correct?
Rangers have a couple more games at home. So what you just said. Hold on, I'm just double checking right now. So yeah, San Jose, Columbus, Colorado, and then Islanders back to back. With they go from being at home to Colorado versus Colorado, then back to
Oh
back
yeah, yeah. They
against
play
the
UBS
Islanders.
Arena, and then
Yep.
they travel to Dallas.
Yeah. So I'll next time that we speak will likely be next Thursday, the
After the Islanders
27th,
game.
after the Islanders game.
Okay.
So yes, so we'll see what happens then. Another 4 games for the Rangers, but we got plenty more to talk about for this Ranger team right now because when you look at would they take advantage of the playoff experience that they had? And I think it's safe to say they have done that tenfold already through their hot start. As we alluded to already with the kids, with Kako, Lafreniere especially. I mean, these guys, when they're scoring or producing scoring chances, their passing plays are looking absolutely pristine right now. They truly look like they are the most locked in that they have been in their young AHL careers already, aside from how great they were in the playoffs for the Rangers back last season. When looking at the veterans now in Panarin with his hot start, Zibanejad, Kreider, who again will continue to get the goal scoring, can we just take a moment to appreciate Vincent Trocheck and how already he looks light years ahead of Ryan Strome with his well-roundedness? This is what we were preaching when we landed Trocheck to, again, a costly contract. But the upside would be you're getting a guy that's expected to have a stronger two-way game, someone that can handle face-offs better, know how to bury his shots better, especially, not talking strictly empty net. But, Trocheck is such a great all-around player. Exactly what this Ranger team needs, as they're going to be more of a grittier team as they continue to blossom, get older. And you need guys like Vincent Trocheck, in my opinion, for playoffs, especially. So would you agree that Trocheck is exactly what this Rangers team needed? Because for me, I don't see how you look at it as anything else.
Yeah, look, Trocheck, for me, it was always going to be a better player than Ryan Strome because he put up the same production as Ryan Strome without Panarin. And he's also better defensively. He's the more complete player. The Rangers got an upgrade. Nothing against Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome was here for 4 years?
Yep.
Almost 4 full seasons. He was traded early in the 18-19 season for Ryan Spooner. He was here almost for 4 full seasons. He revitalized his career playing with Panarin here in New York, but Panarin also benefited from him. But the Rangers got an upgrade in Trocheck, so it worked out. I still cannot wrap my head around all the things they have in common. They both play center. They're both right-handed. They both wear number 16. Their shooting percentage in their careers before the season started was identical. Tyler.
Yes.
It was identical shooting percentages, like Strome and Trocheck in their careers. They were born on the exact same day.
I know. It's funny as shit. My dad mentioned that in game 1 of the year, or not. I think it was before even we played Anaheim, and I'm like, yes, Steven tweeted that out like as soon as we landed Trocheck. Everything that you need to know.
It's crazy how much they have in common. But look, Trocheck's the better player. He gets paid more money. He is definitely worth the extra $600,000 that the Rangers are paying him.
Yep.
The Rangers are a better team with Trocheck, and I wish Ryan Strome all the best in Anaheim. I hope he's going to have a good couple of years there and make the playoffs with that team. But yeah, the Rangers got an upgrade in Trocheck. That's okay. It's okay to say that.
Speaking of upgrades, or at least changes, rather, the New York Rangers have a new retro coming out, reverse retro.
Yeah, I think
what is it?
Tomorrow.
It's supposed to come out tomorrow, you said?
Yeah, the official announcements are tomorrow, but there are some jerseys that are already leaking.
Yeah, the
Um,
Predators one, that is a thing of beauty.
yeah,
Did you
yeah.
Oh, I
The
love that one.
Oilers one leaked as well.
Oh, what does that look like?
It's a navy blue jersey with the oil in the stone in the asteroid.
Yeah.
But the drop of oil is orange.
Could you send that to me over Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hold on.
cool. Yeah, I'm interested to
Um,
see that one.
the Blue Jackets have a black jersey with blue shoulders. Not everyone likes that one. The Washington Capitals are going with a black version of the Screaming Eagle.
Ooh, that Ovi and that's gonna look sick.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a fan of Edmonton's.
Nah, it's better than the original one they had with the same logo.
It's better, but I just wish they would just go back to having the base color be a normal royal blue and then having
Mhm,
the orange shoulders. I think
mhm.
McDavid looks beautiful in those.
Yeah, yeah. No, same. I'm not a fan of navy.
Only if
Um,
it's the Rangers, because navy and red go really well together.
yeah, the Heritage jersey was nice for the Rangers, but
Yeah,
yeah, the league for the Rangers, or sorry, not the league, because there is no official league, but the expectation for the Rangers is a royal blue Liberty jersey. And
but isn't that
look, my expectations
oh
were
a
low.
royal blue?
Royal blue.
Oh, okay. So it's just a slight tweak on what they first came out with. Okay.
Yeah. Um, look, it's not that I don't like it, because it does look nice. I just wish we would get something different.
Yeah.
And
I
this is
would.
why I hung up. This is why I hung up all the jerseys to talk about it for a sec.
Oh, I
You know,
forgot to hang on my jersey too. I'm a schmuck.
that's all right.
Uh,
That's all
yeah, yeah.
right. You
I had this badge out of Liberty in the closet. So
yeah. I mean, you're the only Mets fan that's still in his season.
yes, this is true.
Anyway,
Astros in 6.
so on the right we have the Heritage jersey.
Yeah.
Then the 2012 Winter Classic, and the 2018 Winter Classic. Different designs. I was kind of hoping that they would have a cream colored jersey like the 2012 Winter Classic,
Those are
and
arguably my favorite. They're so
but
nice.
then a heritage design where you have the diagonal New York lettering in dark blue.
Ooh, that
That
could
would have
work.
been cool. That would have been something new.
If they do the royal blue for the Liberties, I almost feel like it would look better if instead of silver, where you see it like on the sleeves and the logo of the Liberty, that they have it white. I think
Mhm.
that would make it bounce better. So it's the traditional Rangers
Yeah,
colors essentially,
yeah,
but it's the Liberty logo.
that would be interesting. Look, and there's some Liberty jerseys there. So this is a practice jersey.
Yep.
Then the white Liberty that they had in I think 99 2000,
Yeah.
and then
The white
the
Liberties are the best in my opinion.
yeah, and then the reverse retro. Look, if they're going with that kind of design, I just wanted something new, and we're not going to get something new probably because they're going to stick with what works. They're going to stick with the Liberty. It's like the goalie masks. Every year the Ranger goalies and pick a new mask, and to me at least, it's all the fucking same every year. It's another Lady Liberty one. Louis Domingue has an interesting one where he has like a red apple on the top to
Yep.
represent the Big Apple.
Hmm.
I like it because it's something different. What I would have done if I wanted to design something different but still, similar to what we had before, go with the Liberty jersey. But do you know that Rangers logo they have on the sleeves,
Hmm.
the silver logo, like the almost like the metallic one?
Yeah, I like that one.
Put that logo on the front and put the Liberty logo on the shoulder.
That would look cool. That would
Try
literally be a reverse.
try something new. You're reversing something.
That would
It's
look.
cool.
It would be like the equivalent to like as we're watching. If people are listening to the podcast, who won't understand, but like the 2012 Rangers Winter Classic, having the plate in front, do that, but with the Statue of Liberty plate that they have on the shoulder, as you're saying. That
Yeah,
would look cool. That
yeah.
would look pretty damn cool. Actually,
Mhm.
that sounds interesting. Yeah.
And it's a reverse retro, not a rehash retro. The Rangers are just going with, I guess you could say they go with what works, but I wish they would just take a risk. Try something new,
Yeah.
try something daring. If it doesn't work out, who cares?
I think this is where the whole being the New York Rangers, as I view them as the Yankees of hockey, kick in. They're so old school in certain
Mhm.
ways that they don't want to break
Yeah.
those barriers too much.
What I also love that other teams are doing, which the Rangers will never do, and this I cannot blame them for. I mean, this I completely, I'm on their side. Like the Anaheim Ducks having a Angels crossover warm up jersey,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
or the Arizona Coyotes did it with the Diamondbacks. The
Oh,
Dallas
when they've done
Stars,
it with the Diamondbacks, when it is their Diamondbacks retro.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, the purple.
The Dallas Stars did it with Texas Rangers a couple of years ago, a warm up jersey. And the reason the Rangers will never do this, and I kind of agree with them on this, you're basically alienating half your fan base because you have to choose Yankees or Mets, and you're never going to please everyone.
They should split it.
Oh no, that's terrible. That's
Or
jerseys.
they have, like, in practice for warm-ups, maybe they have the forward group were Yankees and then the defensive core were
Oh,
Mets.
that's an interesting one.
You
I
know?
really loved the pinstripe pads that Lundqvist had during the Stadium
Those
Series.
were sick. I mean, even as a guy who's not a Yankees fan, it
Yeah,
it, it
yeah,
was fitting.
yeah. But yeah, when we're talking about reverse retro, the expectation is that it's going to be a royal blue with the Lady Liberty logo, which is fine.
Where
I
did you
just
hear that from, by the way?
oh, they're just rumors on social media. They haven't released anything yet. There are no leaks
Yeah.
of an actual photo of a jersey. And it's fine. A Liberty jersey, a royal blue Liberty jersey is fine. It's nice. It's still kind of fresh because we haven't had it in that color yet.
Why do they wait to drop these, like, during the season, though?
Oh,
Wouldn't it
because
make
then
wouldn't it make
there's
more
more.
sense for them to drop them, like, maybe right before the season opener, so that way you can get that out there as soon as possible?
Maybe I don't know what the reason behind it is. Maybe it's a logistical issue with Adidas. Um, but some retailers have already said that they won't have the jerseys in stock until mid-November.
Yeah. I mean, that's expected.
I mean, can we really be upset by something that happens every freaking time the NHL does something?
No, I'm not
No.
upset. It's the cliche saying as a father to their kid. I'm not mad. I'm just
I'm
disappointed.
disappointed. I'm just disappointed. Yes, yeah. There's this meme of a guy holding up a sign that says, "Our expectations were low, but holy fuck."
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
every time the NHL does something, that one, like by pinpoint accuracy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, what I love about the new reverse retro line, and I don't think a lot of people touched on this because it's a very subtle thing. The NHL logo on the collar is the black and orange one.
Yes. Yeah. I noticed that right away. I think that's
Yeah,
sick.
that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Now that's really retro. I love that.
Yeah, that makes me think of, like, 98, 90s NHL, et cetera, where
Yeah,
I almost think of, when they were under Nike as well,
mhm,
which is
yeah.
something that I do think will happen with the NHL because they
I
are
really,
not
I
renewing
really,
with
ho-
Adidas.
I just want them to go back to CCM. CCM does the jerseys in junior hockey.
Yep.
Let's
I don't
just
think they will, though.
just let CCM do it, man. It's quality. It's quality stuff. But yeah, the last thing I'll say about this, if it is this jersey, I like it. I just wish it was their normal third jersey, and then have something daring for the reverse retro,
I
like the
almost,
Dallas
I
Stars.
almost wish that they kept the navy blue Liberty again this year, and then the
Mhm.
reverse retro is something else and more
Yeah,
daring. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
And the Dallas Stars did this. The Dallas Stars had their black and neon green jersey as their third jersey, and then they had that white one with the star silhouette.
Yep.
as their reverse retro.
That was too white.
That was a bit too much for me as well.
Yeah.
It looked like a practice jersey, which is also my gripe with the original reverse retro, the one that's over there, that one.
Yeah.
When they changed the sleeves and removed the red, it turned it into essentially a practice jersey. It looks like a practice jersey.
This is what sucks about, branding marketing nowadays, is because everything's getting back to being simplistic, and you don't need to have it like,
Minimalistic design is the death
yes,
of creativity.
yes. You can keep minimalistic design in the business field. You don't need to have it in a fucking hockey jersey. Okay? Like,
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. Look, I'm just glad that at least it's the full Lady Liberty logo and not just the NYR lettering.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's a
would have
good
been
point.
really lame.
Oh my god, there would be no point. Literally, the whole point of the Liberties is because how much we love the Liberty logo, because it looks
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. Imagine if they just went with NYR, like there's Team USA jerseys, just like a big N, a Y,
No,
and an R. No,
disgusting.
no,
No,
no.
pray,
But yeah, look,
pray to
it's a
God
new
not.
jersey. I'm probably gonna buy one because
I know you will.
I love
Yeah.
to support my team, and financially, and in the crowd, and I want to wear the new reverse retro jersey. I just wish they were a little bit more creative. It just feels like they're mailing it in. Not as much as the Red Wings did in the first reverse
No,
retro.
those are the practice jerseys you were.
Woof, those were bad.
Yeah.
My favorite reverse retro from from the 1.0 series is probably the Avalanche with the
Avalanche were sick. Yeah.
with the burgundy Nordiques logo. That was a really cool one.
For me, there's I th- I think there's one team I'm forgetting, but I probably have to go with the Coyotes. I love
Oh
those.
yes, was that the
Those were,
purple one?
yes. So, because they reminded me a lot of the Arizona Diamondbacks as well. Similar
Mm,
colorway from how the D-backs had it back when they first started their franchise. My
yeah.
favorite colorway of all time for like any sports. If you have like black, purple, then you maybe mix an orange or a green, the way that they do, it just comes together so nice, in my opinion. I love that.
I think the Devils one is gonna be a really nice one this year.
They could
Because
do a lot. They can make themselves look badass. They just need to have a black jersey again, in my opinion.
well, from what I've seen, it's gonna be a white jersey with the Devils design, but in the Colorado Rockies logo color scheme. So it's gonna be a New Jersey Devils
Yeah.
logo, but in
But
the
it's gonna have the royal blue and the yellow and the red. They're gonna look like a
blue,
circus.
yellow, yeah, blue, yellow, red.
I don't know. We'll see how that looks. I'm either gonna love it or I'm gonna hate it. I just think when I think of the Devils, they just feel like a team that you should make yourselves look menacing if you're gonna
Yeah.
represent the name. Go
And I
all
think
black. It doesn't need to be green
yeah,
always.
I think the Bruins are gonna go with another Pooh Bear jersey.
Well, it's not like they have many other options at this point.
No, but and this is something that my fiance actually pointed out, so credit goes to her. Patrice Bergeron will be the only player to have worn both jerseys in an official game because he made his NHL debut in the year that had the Pooh Bear jersey in 03, 04.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So yeah, look, reverse retro, they're all going to drop tomorrow. There's going to be some hideous designs. There're going to be some beautiful designs. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning one's going to be terrible because it's going to be sublimated. Yeah, they're going to have it's not going to be stitched on like the Liberty logo. They're going to have the design sublimated into like dye sublimated into the fabric. And I know North American hockey fans don't like that because it's very
No, it
European.
looks cheap. That's
It
what I
looks
think.
cheap. It looks cheap. It looks like a Chinese knockoff. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think there's going to be a couple that are nice. Like the Blue Jackets one, it's daring. You go with a black jersey with then blue on the shoulders. I just wish if I was in charge of the Blue Jackets reverse retro jersey, I would have gone with a cream colored cannon design.
Yeah.
Simple. You already have, which in my opinion is the more beautiful logo out of the two, the cannon.
Yep.
The cannon should be the logo for the Blue Jackets, not that weird star that with where the trail turns into the Ohio flag.
I feel like their logo could look a lot better if maybe the color scheme was a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's something about the navy blue that maybe I don't like.
It's
But
still
if they
better
go
than
to
the one
Royal,
that
then they're 2 Rangers, I guess.
it's still better than the one they had in their first couple of years with the green Muppet on it.
Oh, that was terrible. But,
Whatever.
I think that's enough Jersey talk for one episode.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why
Let's.
why don't we I'm going to just throw to you, Steven, before we wrap it up. What are all the latest prospect updates regarding this team that you'd like to share with us?
Well, yeah, it's mostly in juniors, of course, because juniors kicked off, I think, a week and a half ago. But as expected, Brennan Othman off to a flying start. He's again the captain for the Flint Firebirds. He has 13 points in 7 games, 7 goals, 6 assists. On a team that's not really that good of a team, unfortunately. They're losing a lot of games, like 7-2, 7-3, where Othman still gets 2 or 3 points. So he's involved in most of their goals. It's really impressive. Um, and Maxim Barbashev in the QMJHL is having a good start to the season. It's interesting for me to actually watch a player in the queue again, because we haven't had a prospect in the QMJHL since, like, an exciting prospect, probably since Anthony Duclair
Mhm.
in 2015.
Yep.
But yeah, for the Mountain Wildcats, Maxim Barbashev, who's the younger brother of Ivan Barbashev on the St. Louis Blues, has 4 goals, 2 assists for 6 points in 8 games. And then the third one I want to highlight is the new captain of the Sioux Greyhounds in the Ontario Hockey League. 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points in 8 games for third-round pick Bryce McConnell Barker.
Nice.
I think this, if I look at this year's draft for the Rangers, and it might just be an easy pick because they're the 2 highest draft picks, but Adam Shakora, who went back to Slovakia, of course, is going to be someone to keep an eye on. But I think Bryce McConnell Barker is going to surprise a lot of people. He had 49 points in 68 games last season, and he was playing on the third line in a shutdown role as a draft eligible in the OHL. So I think he's going to have a really good season for the Rangers. And then in the WHL, there's Jaden Grube with the Red Deer Rebels,
Yep.
and Talon Boyko of the Kelowna Rockets, who signed his ELC. He was assigned to the Kelowna Rockets only a couple of days ago because he spent training camp with the Rangers, and then the Wolfpack, and then the Jacksonville Icemen in the ECHL.
That's a lot.
So yeah, he's ready for the season. He had 3 training camps. So, and then so one kid in college I would like to point out, Yaroslav Khmelars, the Czech winger that we drafted last year in 2021.
Yes.
He joined the Providence Friars, so he is the teammate of Brett Berard now. They play on the top line together.
Oh, sweet. There you go. Build that
So
chemistry. You never
yeah,
know.
yeah. And college games are usually on the weekend, so if you keep an eye out for prospect schedules on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there is a game for the Providence Friars, try to set some time apart to watch those games. It's when you get to watch 2 Ranger prospects on one line, that's usually worth it.
Are you excited to watch the Wolfpack this year?
The Wolfpack. Defensively, the Wolfpack are hurting. Zach Jones, Braden Schneider are full-time NHLers now. Jared Tenorti was claimed off waivers. Nils Lundqvist was traded to the Dallas Stars.
I wonder how Niels is doing to start the year, by the way. I didn't even think about that.
That's 4 defensemen that the Wolfpack are losing compared to what they had last season. You know what? Let me quickly look up Nils Lundqvist then. I think defensively they're going to struggle a little bit, but they did get Julien Gauthier, who cleared waivers, who could help them offensively.
Yes. Yep. He had a goal in his first game.
Yeah, Dryden Hunt is on waivers today. If he clears, that gives them some offensive upside.
Niels has 1 assist in 3 games, by the way, and
Okay.
he's averaged 15 to 16 minutes per game.
Yeah, I think he's on. I'm not sure if he's on the top pair with Heiskanen or on the second pair, but he's on the first power play unit for them.
Good for him.
So yeah, defensively, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Robertson needs to step up big time.
Yeah.
Brandon Scanlon is another one. He was one of the top undrafted free agents in college last season. The Rangers got him, so hopefully he can make a big step up. And then we'll see what happens next with the Wolfpack. But not as exciting as I was, not as excited as I was a year ago,
Yeah.
because there's just not. Last year, we had Schneider, we had Lundqvist, we had Jones. So defensively, there was a lot to look forward to. On offense, you have Will Cooley, Bobby Trevino, Lori Payuniemi is back for another season. Patrick Kodorenko is one of the more seasoned young guys. He's 24 now, I think.
Ryder Korzak.
Ryder Korzak made the jump from juniors. Carl Henriksen is eligible to play this year, so he's in Hartford. So we have a lot of new, fresh blood. Like Matt Rempe is another one who came over from juniors, from the Seattle Thunderbirds. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think what's important for the Wolfpack is to hold on to their veterans, guys like Brodzinski and Gauthier. If they can play in Hartford the whole season, that's gonna be a huge boost for them. Because last year it fell apart when Brodzinski and Greco were called up.
Yeah. A guy I just remembered too from the AHL, and then we'll wrap things up, is a Jake Elmer. I know he didn't play much in the AHL last year. He was mainly playing the ECHL, but he was one of those pickups that reminded me. I don't think he played college hockey, but Bobby Trevino, I'm interested in. He's a guy that excites me. I think
I think Elmer played for the Lethbridge Hurricanes in the WHL.
I want to say you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think. Is there one other guy I'm thinking of that the Rangers signed out of college that did pretty well in college, aside from Bobby Trevino? There's got to be one.
Yeah, the defenseman I just mentioned, Brandon Scanlon.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, they got Ty Emberson in the Nemeth trade. So that's a defenseman that could pick up some minutes. They signed Andy Walensky, who's a veteran defenseman. So it's not all bad. They just need to keep that together. Ben Harper signed with them, by the way.
Yes, I saw. He's the Chinordi replacement, essentially.
Basically, yeah, because he also played for the Milwaukee Admirals and the Nashville Predators. So that's definitely Tenorti material. Yeah, he played. How many games did he play? He played 156 games in the NHL. So there's experience there to dip into. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Wolfpack. It's early still. They've only played 2 games.
What do you think is for Bobby, because he was really coveted that we saw coming out of college? What do you think his ceiling is? Do you think he's a guy that could be pesky and maybe crack the Rangers bomb 6 as like peak in his career?
Yeah, I think he could be a third-line player in the NHL. It's probably going to take a year or 2 for him to get there. He has to get used to the pro level, and not every player makes that jump straight from college to the NHL.
Yeah.
But having him in the system is definitely nice.
And growing up a Rangers fan too from New York, there's always that little extra spice to it.
Personally, I don't really care about that stuff. I care more about how good a player is. But now I understand for people that are from New York, when they see like Adam Fox from Jericho, go, oh, well, I know where that is. I went to school in Jericho, or wherever Bobby Trevino is from. Let me see, actually. Do you know off the top of your head where he's from?
No, but I have his hockey DB pulled up. So
I'm opening it here. Setauket.
Yeah, Setauket, New York. Yep.
Is that Long Island?
I wouldn't know. I would not know. I'm from New York, but I haven't lived there long enough to know.
That's why I asked you. I mean, I expect you to know.
Yeah. I apologize.
Setauket, Port Jefferson.
And he's a short king like me, 5'7", not even $170. Yeah. I'm rooting hard for him. He's my Ty Ronning 2.0 because Ty did not work out.
Yeah, it's on the north side of Long Island near Port Jefferson.
Okay.
So, Stony Brook. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, any Rangers history with number 66? I want to say no.
No.
Yeah.
Number 66, like number 68 and number 69, is not even handed out during prospect camp, man.
Yeah. If only the Rangers had a number 66 a couple decades ago.
I know. But no number 66. And yeah, we're gonna have in 3 weeks when we have episode number 69. We can skip this section entirely.
No, we can have fun with it, Steven.
We could maybe go over Rangers that wore number 69 elsewhere.
Oh, I didn't realize Setauket is in Suffolk County, which is where I'm from. So yeah, my dad just texted me that. He said, yeah, no, it's east of Green Lawn because I'm from Green Lawn, Long
Okay.
Island. And okay, so I love this kid. I'm buying his jersey. All
Okay.
right,
Okay. There you go. There
I'm
you go.
replacing Zook with him on my wall soon. Stay tuned.
Fair enough.
There you
All
go.
right. Yeah. So no number 66 for the Rangers.
All righty, folks. Well, this is number 66 of Rangers Review. We thank you so much for watching here on YouTube on the Rangers Review YouTube channel. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe on. Next episode, we will gladly try to take some questions from you lovely Ranger fans. And of course, if you're listening wherever you get your podcasts, make sure to rate, review, all that great stuff. Thank you so much. And before we get out of here, Davis Douglas with another Beyond Generous $20 donation. Thank you so much for that, Davis. Greatly appreciate you, my friend. He says, any idea why Schneider changed numbers? Not that I'm aware of. Do you have anything to add to that, Steven, or no?
Because he wanted to.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I like the 45 on him, but
too.
it is what it is. It's okay.
Me too.
As long as he doesn't play like Delzato, I think we're in good hands.
He wore number 2 in juniors. He wore
Yep.
number 2 in Hartford in his first season there. Of course, he had 49 last season. Yeah, going to number 4. Look, you say Delzato. I just hope he doesn't turn into Michael Koska. The last time the Rangers had a pairing with the jersey numbers 4 and 6 was a game against the Jets in 2011 with Michael Koska and Jeff Voivodka.
Something we can all forget.
Yeah. No, I'll take Jones Schneider over those two any day.
Just a little bit. All right, folks. That'll do it. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And Steven, let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.